Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh, and in this video we shall continue with the government schemes in the infrastructure sector. Now, the scheme that I have selected right now is the Swajal Yojana. This scheme is in news because it was alleged that some of the underserved areas, the areas which had less than 25% of tapped drinking water connections, they were kept low in priority for the Swajal Yojana. So this is an allegation, and that is why we need to understand what this scheme is about. Now, under Jal Jeevan Mission of the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. So the ministry is Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. Under this ministry, there was an initiative to start the Swajal Yojana. The main idea in this ministry was to ensure that there be 55 liters of water available per capita per day, per person per day, tapped drinking water, right? So this is what the institutional mechanism has to deliver. Why? Because the government is liable to give potable, drinkable water to every individual, right? It is a fundamental right. People can ask for it. So therefore, the government initiated the Jal Jeevan Mission, and to ensure that this water be available to everybody by the year 2024. Year 2024, every village, every person, right? So Swajal Yojana is an important initiative under Jal Jeevan Mission. Swajal Yojana, as the name itself suggests, Swajal, by myself, by ourselves, and Jal, water. So it talks about initiative of the people living in the rural area. So Swajal Yojana, the main objective is to have the community-led drinking water projects. So Swajal, community-led, this is one objective. And second, providing sustainable and adequate drinking water in an integrated manner to the rural masses. So not only to provide the water to them, but also ensure that it is community-led. So the main idea here is to install an ecosystem. Sometimes the government will be giving some provisions. Government will be giving 90% provisions. 10% people have to collect amongst themselves, form a self-help group, and somebody of them will also be running this facility so that there is tapped drinking water connection to people, right? So what will they use? They might use bore wells, solar-driven bore wells, and they will be able to extract water. So this is how the main idea has been to initiate the Swajal Yojana. Now, this is an important welfare activity for the females, specifically females. Why? Because many females, the research itself suggests that many females could not pursue education because they had to indulge in the important activity of fetching water for their family. And therefore, the women themselves can be made participants of this kind of initiative. They have been, right? So this community-led drinking water program is solar-powered, using solar-powered pumps. This is also using the services of women as important participants. So they will be technicians, and they will be trained to operate this program under a sustainable and integrated manner, right? Not only this, there have been programs to integrate grey water management also. So water from the kitchen supplies, water from bathing, washing clothes, those, not the fecal water. Only those water also management has to be done under Jal Jeevan Mission, right? Now, the operation has to be done by the local people. The government will be paying 90% of the amount and 10% by the local people, so that they have the ownership of the project. The second scheme that we discussed today is the Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme. Now this scheme, the main objective of this scheme is about Northeast India itself. And it is a special infrastructure development scheme. It is not a regular scheme. We are talking about those infrastructure projects which are pending, or there is a gap in the fulfillment of those projects. So the main idea of this objective of the scheme is to fill gaps in creation of infrastructure. Two types of infrastructure. One is the physical infrastructure, and the second one is the social infrastructure. So social infrastructure includes institutions like health institutions, education institutions. Physical infrastructure could include drinking water. Then we have power projects, road highways projects, connectivity projects. So national highways and connectivity projects. So these are the kind of projects where there is gap. Those gaps will be fulfilled under this kind of Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme, right? The government will be funding this scheme. It is under Ministry of Donor. So Development of Northeast Region, Ministry of Donor. And this is in news because lately this scheme has initiated the Bamboo Industrial Park in Assam. Now why bamboo? Bamboo grows very much in Assam, and bamboo in the year 2017, it was removed from the list of trees under the National Forest Act in the non-forested areas. If bamboo is removed from the tree list in the non-forested areas, it will be easier for people to use bamboo for commercial purposes. And that is why now we have one industrial park also. This will rejuvenate the whole economy of this particular region in Assam, right? So important parts of this particular scheme are, first, it is 100% funded by the central government, right? It will cover physical and social infrastructure, as I said. What will it do? It will also spur a lot of tourism. So youth power and tourism will be two important recipients of this particular scheme, right? And this is over and above the rest of the existing schemes in the northeast area, right? So this is a special scheme. This is why it is called as a special scheme. So remember, Northeast Special Infrastructure Development Scheme for physical and the social infrastructure, for the gaps, for creating and for fulfilling the gaps under Ministry of Donor. The third scheme that we discussed today is the UDAN scheme, which is Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik scheme. As the name suggests, it is under the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and the important agenda has been to serve the unserved or underserved areas. Unserved or underserved areas. So unserved are the places where there is no connectivity, air connectivity, and the second one, underserved, are the places where we have very few flights traveling to those smaller destinations. So tier 2 and tier 3 cities. What will it do? What will it do is that it will facilitate regional air connectivity by making it affordable. So one of the important agenda of the government has been to cap the price of the tickets. So 2,500 rupees maximum fare in case people want to travel a distance of 500 kilometers or 1 hour of air travel. So this is the capping of price government had initiated. Now, there were important concessions given to airlines who were flying in these regional areas. So newer air areas. So what were the concessions like? So one good concession could be landing charges. So when planes land at a place, there are charges to be paid to airport authority, right? If it is a private airfield, there also it will have to be paid. Landing charges, parking charges, staying charges, right? Loading charges. So these are the various kind of charges every airline has to pay, and there'll be concessions here. Not only that, the government has created a viability gap funding. So to ensure that this is not a loss-making venture to the companies, the government has ensured that there be funds, viability gap funding be also provided, and central and state government, both of them will be participating in this. Central 80%, state 20% in capacity. This scheme is for next 10 years. And now the fourth component, the fourth segment of this scheme has been released. Now earlier, the scheme was such that only the brownfield projects were taken. That means the places which were unserved and underserved, but there was airstrip there, right? But now government has started to give greenfield projects also. Greenfield means the whole airstrip will be created there, and that place will be connected. That place will be connected for air travel as well, right? Now we have started to connect more places. So Lakshadweep area also, and newer areas of connectivity has also begun under the 4.0 UDAN scheme. Also helicopter services have been given in this particular segment.